Unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard of dropshipping. Whether it's a TikTok, YouTube video, sponsored post, it's pretty much everywhere if you're looking into side hustles. But the problem is all of these short form pieces of content make it look out to be a get rich quick scheme. So what's the actual truth behind it? What does it take to succeed? Is it real? Who's telling the truth? Who's a fake guru? Who's not? And what are the experts not telling you? I'm here to cover it all. Let's start off with a quick overview of what dropshipping is. Dropshipping is a logistics model. It is not a business model. The dropshipping structure is where you typically build a Shopify website and house products on it, do your web design, all of that. You would run marketing campaigns, whether it's organic free traffic or paid traffic to this website. And once someone decides to purchase from you, you actually reach out to your supplier to fulfill the order. They send it directly to the customer. That's the term drop shipping because you never have to hold any inventory. But I'm sure you know that. The success rate of a dropshipping business is anywhere from 10 to 20%. And it's not really clear data. It doesn't say like 10 to 20% of people make a ton of money doing it. It's kind of like right in the middle or they become profitable. And success is all relative to you. You could be making $50,000 a year from it and that's success, or you can be making $5 million a year from it and that's your success. But to be realistic, let's say that the success rate is just 10%. But you watching this video right now, you already have a higher chance of success. Let's talk about the disturbing truth of dropshipping. Why is there so much controversy around it? People say that there's no value added to people that are drop shippers because we're not creating a new product. But that's not true all of the time. People just generalize dropshipping as a term or a business model when it's actually just a logistics model, which I just told you. Very successful brands that have created their own products utilize dropshipping as a fulfillment method. There's also scams. There are so many dropshipping scams, whether it's people telling you that they can teach you with no prior success, people over-promising, or even straight up taking people's money and giving them nothing in return. There's a lot of fake accounts out there, even on me personally on Instagram, that try to reach out to my friends and family and take money from them. Don't fall for these scams, only follow verified creators in the space. So what's the truth about dropshipping in 2023 moving into 2024? You need to look at dropshipping as more of e-commerce brand building rather than just get rich quick and throw up a website with a product and hope you get lucky. No more one product, terrible looking stores. No more just winging it, spending 15 to 30 minutes just trying to throw up a website and hopefully people convert. It's not 2017 anymore. But before we get into the list of things that people are not actually telling you about dropshipping before you start, let me tell you why you should even be listening to me or watching this video. I've been dropshipping for almost 5 years now, full time, and I've sold close to 200,000 orders. This right here is a plaque that Shopify sent me for 100,000 orders on just one of my stores. I really don't know how to show any more proof than that. I think it speaks for itself. But now that that's out of the way, you hear all the time on the internet strategies of how to make dropshipping work, best products to sell right now, up-to-date marketing strategies, types of content. But you never hear people talk about the negatives of dropshipping, what you should be avoiding, what road bumps you might encounter, and knowing these things ahead of time will increase your chances. So the first thing is don't expect your Lambo next week. I know there's so many clips of people on the internet saying, if you don't have a Lambo and you're 25, you're a loser. Come on, let's be realistic. That is absolutely insane. Any good business with a solid foundation, solid financials, and profitable is gonna take time to build. It's not just gonna pop up overnight. You actually have to put in hard work, dedication, and effort into this. The things that you should be focusing on to build out this business and spend the most of your time on are learning about marketing angles, how to read analytics, how to build a successful website, customer psychology. You also need to learn about fulfillment methods, how to work with your supplier, build that relationship, and so many more things. But this takes a lot of time, right? So don't get discouraged if you're not successful in the first week. It actually took me over 3.5 months of breaking even on my very first store to see any profitability at all. So lesson 1 is keep your expectations in check. Number 2 is building a website is easy, but it's also hard. It's very easy to log on to Shopify and pick a random theme, plug in your product, do all that, set up a product description, everything you need to get going. But it's also very hard to actually make it look really nice and actually converting and convince customers to purchase from you. This takes time, so much trial and error. You probably have to get some branded content, make some custom content yourself, order the product to your house. And if you want to go even further, work with a developer. Your website is like your house or a showroom for a product. You have to have it looking clean and in pristine condition. You don't go into like a Louis Vuitton on Rodeo Drive and the floor is all dirty, the AC unit's leaking. It looks high quality and it's clean in there. You have to have the same mindset with your website. One tool that really helps me build out my websites is called Dropbot AI. All you have to do here is plug in your product. Let's just say it's a jade roller and you're looking for brand name, brand voice, maybe marketing angles, whatever you really need. You're gonna put any additional information that you need and then you're gonna hit generate. And then you're gonna get your generations on the right side here and you can take these exactly one-to-one, post it onto your website, use the marketing angles, whatever you need, or just take a little bit of them and use it for ideation. This is great for anything from coming up with image ad ideas, UGC scripts, all of that. If you want to try out Dropbot, I'll have a link down below in the description. The third thing that people don't talk about really are the margins of dropshipping. If you're running paid traffic, a very, very healthy margin is anywhere from 15 to 30%. So if you sell $100,000 after all of your fees and expenses and you come back with 15 to 30K profit, this is actually really good. And people poke fun at me at this all the time because they're like, that's such low margins, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you've never worked a 9 to 5 then. Look at any manufacturing company, 6 to 15% profits are healthy. So first, learn a little bit about business, get some experience, come back to actually build your own. The second example for margins, if you can take out that advertising cost for paid advertising and you go the organic route, let's say you get a really viral product on TikTok, it keeps taking off, people are talking about it, you get influencers to work with, you can see profit margins from 50 to 75%, which is absolutely insane. But I don't see a lot of people in the space talking about their margins necessarily, they just kind of show the revenue, so I think it's really important to understand. Don't even get discouraged if you're at 5% margins or you're even at break even. That's a great place to be. There are so many things that you can do to increase your margins to make it actually profitable in a sustainable business. You can have negotiations with your supplier based on your quantity. You can improve your conversion rate on your website. You can lower the product cost. You can use different materials even. You can work on your ad creatives and your ad targeting and your ad strategy to actually make your cost per purchase more effective. There are so many different ways, so don't worry about it. If you're making sales, that's a really good sign. Number 4 is don't go with the first supplier that you find. There's not a lot of people that talk about actually finding suppliers. I do have some videos on it. It's actually harder than it seems. There's a lot of options out there. There's CJ Dropshipping, there's Zendrop, Spocket, AliExpress, Alibaba, RFQ. There are so many out there, but you do have to find the right supplier that you want to build a relationship with and work with for a long term. I've been working with my personal agent now for almost 5 years. It's been about 4 years with him. He's been fantastic ever since. He's given me rebates that I didn't even know about. And so building that relationship is super, super important. Don't just focus heavily on the product and the website. Plug in any random supplier that you find on AliExpress. It's going to cause a lot of headaches later on down the road. And if you're struggling on finding the supplier, then make sure to watch my suppliers video on my channel because I give you some really good tips there. Number 5 is you will encounter customer service headaches. No one talks about this. Like, you're running a business and you're selling products. Everyone's just excited about the first sale. But once you start getting a lot of sales rolling in, you look at the back end and you look at your email and you're like, oh dang, like 20 people actually like replied and they said they didn't get their product or it's broken or whatever. You have to deal with this. Otherwise, word of mouth is going to get around. You're going to get reported. People are going to open disputes on you and it's just going to be a big nightmare and a headache. So make sure you have customer service in place. You can do this by outsourcing it to a third party. You can also just handle it all yourself. You can get a VA. You can also set up a frequently asked questions page, which I like to do, and it sends out the top 10 questions that people ask. So whenever I get an email, it automatically sends that to them and answers most of the questions, maybe 90%. So you do need to expect that, and people reaching out, you have to run a good, solid business with good customer service because it's 2023. People want high quality customer service. Number 6 is you will fail a lot. I can't tell you how many things that I've tried. I was looking at the Facebook ad account the other day and I saw 4,700 campaign lines. A lot of those are failures, okay? And some of them did really well, some of them did not. There is so much testing in e-commerce, it's absolutely insane. You have to be okay with failing. You even have to be okay with building a full store, finding the best product that you think is, top tier, building the best ad creatives that look good to you, and you spend a week on this nonstop and it sucks. You don't get any sales. You have to be okay with this. You have to take that as a lesson. You have to dig into the analytics. You have to see why customers left, who's not buying it. Is it the price? Is it the product? Is it the website? Dig into all of that. And if you can't fix this and that one is just dead, move on to the next thing and do not give up. Something will stick, something will work. I've had students in eCom Remastered do it for 7 months before turning profitable. And this specific student did $70,000 that next month. So moral of the story there, don't give up. There's so much testing and you're gonna fail a lot. Number 7 is finding products. Analysis paralysis is what I titled it on my notes here. So many people are like, finding the winning product is the first step. It's everything. If you don't have a winning product that's top but not, tapped into, no one's buying it but it has high demand, or no one's supplying it and it has high demand, like that's the winner. And they spend so much time on this. They spend countless hours, weeks looking for this special product. It's true, but it's not true at the same time, okay? So there are products that are naturally better than others. They're more engaging, especially if you're doing organic traffic. Some of them have more use cases. Some of them have bigger markets to advertise to. I don't want you guys to get so stuck on finding this winning product because a lot of people don't even start because they can't find one. You need to look at products in a different light. You need to look at products as marketing angles. If you can come up with 3 to 10 marketing angles for this specific product, it is worth trying in my opinion. Marketing angles can really make or break a product. I always use this example if you've watched any of my other videos, the beauty fridge that you put your skincare in to cool it off or whatever, that they sell at Urban Outfitters and they sell everywhere now. That is literally a refrigerator. The marketing angle is skincare refrigerator. Same exact product, right? Just has a marketing angle that worked really, really well and took off. That's how important marketing angles are. If you told me you're gonna sell a refrigerator, I'd be like, what's your angle? If you can come up with anything besides cooling your food, I'd be like, there's a lot of competition out there. That's gonna be tough. There's big players in the market. But if you came up with something brand new, I'd be like, that's a great marketing angle. That's not tapped into yet. So moral of the story, Don't sweat on finding a winning product too much. Just get out there and test the product. Half the battle is actually learning from what works and what doesn't work, testing them and looking at the analytics on the back end. Speaking of winning products though, if you're still stuck, like I was just talking about, I like to use Minea for all my product research. I'm a partner with Minea and I only recommend things that I actually use myself. I was actually using them before they even reached out to me. They've got really cool things like top 10 winning products of the day by platform. I love using this when I'm looking at my top 10 winning products videos every month. There's so many good ones that pop up here. It gives you the ad creatives, it gives you how many people liked it, all this stuff. You can watch the video, you can find the product on AliExpress. Like let's say right here, you like this product, you click on it, you can even see the product here and it'll actually take you to their website and show you exactly where it's selling and where it came from. It's a fantastic tool. They have so many cool features that they're always updating. They've got things in the business plan, which is absolutely insane, which is like extra winning products, success radar. You can track shops on there as well. I mean, they've really thought of everything when it comes to product research. There's nothing that they've missed. Big fan of Minea, so if you're looking for that winning product, want some inspiration, want some ads, make sure to check out Minea. I do have a discount code for you if you want to try it out. I'll have a link down below in the description for that as well. Number 8 is liability. No one talks about liability at all, right? If you're selling a product that's super dangerous, you can get sued for it, okay? It's really recommended that you have an LLC to protect your assets and things like that if you do it cleanly. But I'm not gonna go start an e-com store, even if there's a high demand for tasers all of a sudden. There's liability there. Like you can actually sell something that someone gets hurt and you can be sued for it. So keep that in mind. There also are things to look into with copyright infringement. You can get sued for that. Don't let this stress you out too much, but try to pick products that are pretty clean and really can't hurt somebody. And also once you start making sales, make sure to look into getting an LLC. I can't give you any advice on that. I'm not a tax professional, but LLCs definitely help. Everyone I know that dropships successfully has one. Number 9 is your ads are always unstable. If you're running paid traffic or even organic traffic, it's gonna run out at some point, right? Your frequency might get too high, which is how many times someone actually saw the specific ad. If they've seen it 5 times on average, it means you're just advertising over and over to the same customers that aren't purchasing. Same with viral TikToks and organic traffic. Eventually, it's gonna stop pushing out your content, right? You're gonna get a million views and it's gonna stop and just come to a halt. Then your traffic is gone, your business, any sales that you're making, it's over, right? This is why it's so important to going back to the lesson that I was talking about with A/B testing. You always need to be testing. Even if you're having a great week and your advertisements are crushing it, your return on your ad spend is 5, it's absolutely insane, everything's going great. Don't go out and take that vacation yet. Make sure you have something in the pipeline working through to make sure you have the next winning ad creative and thing that you need to move on to. It's always unstable with paid traffic and same with organic. You really just don't know what's going on at all times, so you have to be by your computer. I have a really quick story about this. I've told it on TikTok many times, but I was running, I can't remember the exact amount, but I had like $3,000 to $5,000 a day in ad spend. I took a vacation, I was in Coronado staying at the Dell, and I turned off my notifications on Shopify on my phone. Come back to the room, check on ads, because I'm spending a lot of money and I was expecting to see a lot of sales. It was terrible. There was like no sales for like 6 hours. And the reason for this was because Shopify was actually down. Like people couldn't check out. And that day I lost a ton of money. I lost over $1,000. It was like $1,200 or something like that. The moral of the story there is you always be watching things. Things are unstable. Just make sure you have notifications on. Make sure you're always keeping up to date and keeping track of it throughout the day. Number 10 on the list of things people don't really talk about in dropshipping is things will break. This kind of ties into the last thing I just talked about. Ad account could be suspended. Shopify could be down. You could get banned, whatever. Things will break. Right? So you just have to fix them. Everything in business breaks. What business have you or anyone ever worked at, in corporate or non-corporate, where things didn't go wrong, where you need to improve, where competition's coming in, where your supply chain is shot and you need to fix something? It's all the time. Business is always breaking. And things are gonna break in dropshipping. It's not just like, oh, clicked a button, this thing worked and it's good for the rest of my life. It goes back to testing and continuously testing. You always have to be fixing things, improving, and that's just the name of business. But no one really talks about that, so I thought I'd bring that up. Last thing on the list is stress. People don't really talk about this at all either. It's always like, oh, I'm in Greece, I'm doing this. And yeah, I post that stuff on my story too, but it's stressful. If things are breaking down and you're on vacation, you don't have a good internet connection or whatever, things can get really stressful, right? And then it's your income. If it's your only income stream, that's even more stressful. People don't really talk about that much, and I have another quick story about this. I was working at my 9-to-5 job in supply chain, and dropshipping was working really, really well, so I was doing both at the same time. I finally decided to take the leap and go full into e-com so I could actually spend 40 hours extra a week working on it. And I did it. I was so scared. It was a great job. It paid really well. Quit, called my manager, it was done. 1 week after quitting, my ad account was suspended. And that was stressful, right? Because I was like, oh no, it's my only source of income, blah, blah, blah. But I got it fixed, I got it figured out, so it's all good to go. But the thing is, those little stressors can come at any moment. So make sure you can handle that well. meditate, do whatever you have to do. That's the last thing on the list of my dramatic title of disturbing things that people don't talk about in dropshipping, or whatever I name it. I hope this video helped you out and understand some things that you might encounter along your journey. In the end, dropshipping is very feasible. It's a great business model, low barrier to entry, low cost of entry. But just be aware that it's not all sunshines and rainbows all the time, and you have to make sure that you're aware of these things going into it. If you can handle all this, go for it. You've got this. It might take some time, but eventually something will work. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video, and I will catch you next time.